Cheap and cute villain+Cool article+Black belly+Easy+Old 6+Unconscious+Non invincible article. Qin Feng traveled through the wilderness and became the eldest young master of the Qin family. His twin brothers were also the legendary chosen ones and possessed an unparalleled supreme bone. I thought I could hold on to my second brother's thigh and reach the pinnacle of my life, but unfortunately, I encountered an unscrupulous system that told him that being a villain has a future. Ding dong, dig out your brother's supreme bone and obtain invincible double pupils. Qin Feng. Are you joking? That's my beloved family and friends, brothers and sisters. Jia, my foolish Odoudou, do you feel despair? From then on, the entire ancient world despised him for doing anything for his strength, but on the day the truth was exposed, countless people were moved and shed tears. Qin Feng has been too difficult these years. Chapter 1. My brother is the son of Tianxuan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's over. Barbecue, it's over, sprinkle flowers. Qin Feng desperately cursed at the heavens, is there a TM who plays with people like this? A few days ago, he was still working hard to fix the screws for his boss to marry a mistress next year, but to his surprise, he was inexplicably brought back to life and transformed into a lewd baby in the womb. After collecting information for a few days, it was discovered that this was not his original world, but a mystical world called Aragia. Coexistence of demons and demons, coexistence of immortals and mortals, capable individuals who can break mountains and rivers, summon wind and rain, overlook heaven and earth, and shake the 9 states with one word. I thought that just like him, who is ordinary and doesn't even look back when thrown on the street, and can go astray even with a browser, Xuanhuan would only live for 3 episodes in this fantasy world. The surprise came too suddenly, his father was actually the head of the Qin family. The Qin family is known as the #1 family in ancient times, with a multitude of experts, geniuses, and awe-inspiring power. The strong background allows him to walk horizontally in the wilderness, and there is nothing that cannot be solved by shouting, "Dad." If there is, just shout out again. He is also a mother with a considerable background, and is one of the 3 major holy sites, the Saint of Mount Taibai. If it's useless to call out, Mom and Dad, there are still 10 masters at the ancestral level in the family sitting there. As long as you don't provoke the perverted protagonist with their own protagonist aura, you don't just want to play like this. Still the protagonist. I've read so many novels. Qin Feng began to feel that he must have thought too much. How could there be such a deceitful situation in the real world? The efforts of several generations were not as good as a strange encounter with a young boy. It was really funny. But who knows, he won't be able to laugh the next second. Today, his mother, whom he had never met before, drank a bowl of immortal liquid carefully prepared by the Qin family as usual. This elixir has magical power, and drinking it can strengthen a baby's potential. The more you drink, the stronger the potential. In order to ensure that the little baby of the Qin family can win at the starting line from birth, the Qin family is willing to use secret methods to delay his birth by 100 years. It has been 97 years now, and he will be born in another 3 years. Just before Qin Feng could start absorbing it today, the energy transformed from the immortal liquid was absorbed by something, and the other party was still unsatisfied, starting to crazily plunder the energy inside his body. He suddenly became lethargic, even more tired than spending 20 days alone with his girlfriend in his previous life. It also made him realize that he wasn't alone here, there was a terrifying little guy by his side. If he continues to suck like this, he won't need a few days to get GG himself. What kind of monster is this? Qin Feng felt immense fear in his heart, wanting to stay away from this terrifying monster. But now in such a big place, he has nowhere to escape and can only watch as the energy inside his body is gradually absorbed. At this moment, a voice rang out in Qin Feng's mind, "Ding dong, we have detected the epic level selected child, and the system is starting to activate. This monster is the protagonist." Qin Feng is like a stunned old iron. He panics inexplicably. As is well known, the protagonist's family is a high-risk profession, either being silenced to start the plot, or hindering the protagonist's ability to improve combat, ultimately leading to the fate of being worshipped to heaven. Even if one can successfully survive until the end, they will still be ruthlessly pressed down by fate and rubbed repeatedly until both body and mind are exhausted, making it difficult to show their strength again. It seems that to confirm Qin Feng's conjecture, he actually saw the halo attribute of the second younger brother's protagonist. Epic-level protagonist aura. A rare and exclusive aura for epic-level protagonists, with no reason to say. Don't ask, asking is setting. Lucky bonus of 9999 plus intelligence value bonus 9999 plus potential value bonus 9999 plus charm bonus of 9999 plus 50% of family members have an abortion rate note. In case of a life or death crisis, the aura will activate an additional bonus. The additional bonus effects are as follows. Lucky bonus of 9999 plus intelligence value adds an additional 9999 plus additional potential value bonus of 9999 plus charm bonus of 9999 plus family birth rate 99.999%. Is there any royal law in the bedroom? Is there any law? Qin Feng couldn't help but burst out in a foul voice, and his heart was filled with the howling of a groundhog. Why did my second brother become the protagonist, even though he was the one who crossed over? What is he then? The villain. Ding dong, it has been detected that the host is the heavenly destiny villain. The super invincible universe villain system has been successfully activated. The air suddenly quieted down. A big sleeping slot popped up in the heart of a pretty guy. The twin brother who plays the protagonist is already dangerous enough, and now we have to make him a destined villain. Isn't this a typical way to go to the bathroom with a lantern to look for feces? At the same time, we also have to think about what to do in the future. Not greedy for money, not lascivious, not accepting apprentices, not teaching, not being able to show off, but not being able to hide or show off, not being provoked by useless talents, not being rescued by beautiful women in danger, walking around when encountering Yilin, Chen Xiao, Chu, Qin Wang, Su Fang. And the most important thing is that you must never smile like a jia. Ding dong, friendly reminder. According to the system's analysis of the host's personality, the host is greedy, lascivious, boastful, and full of coquettishness, showcasing his true nature as a man. He will never be willing to live in seclusion and become an honest person who cultivates himself. Qin Feng couldn't bear it anymore and started spitting out the fragrance. Sleeping trough, are you joking? Will your conscience not hurt when you say such things? I have been very kind-hearted since I was young, okay? When I see the little sister next door taking a shower, I will kindly help her open the window for ventilation. When I see the old Wang next door not at home, I will help take care of his wife. When I encounter a homeless little sister, I will give her a warm home. My friends say I have the ability to be a prime minister, but I just want to be a big boy next door and silently help them repair the sewer. But as soon as Qin Feng finished talking about 1/10 of his strengths, he heard the sound of the system ring again. Ding dong, the new villain's gift package has been successfully distributed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining a divine aura and the gift of the emperor. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the divine level skill, 33 days of creation technique. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining a mythological epic prop and a full-level red-haired monster experience coupon. Emperor's gift. Mythical aura. After use, it will gain a 10-fold bonus effect on all attributes. Note. The 10-fold bonus effect will be adjusted based on the enhancement of the original attributes, the 33 days of creation technique. A mythological technique that originated from the Big Bang of the universe and has the effect of capturing the heavenly creation. Full-level red-haired old monster experience volume. A mythological epic prop that allows users to experience the joy of full-level red-haired old monsters, suppressing all those who dare to claim invincibility in the world. Note. Continuous effect for 24 hours, cooldown time for 10 years, Qin Feng stared blankly at the attributes of the prop, suddenly feeling that being a villain was not a big deal. If it's a brother, come and chop me. No way. He received Confucianism from a young age, and a serious gentleman who grew up reading the Analects of Confucius could not willingly become a villain. Suck, 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 just know how to suck. Qin Feng noticed that his second brother was still sucking on his energy and kicked him hard in the face. Confucius said, if a gentleman is not heavy, he will not have authority. Chapter 2. My son has the capital of the great emperor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Step down with 1 foot. My second younger brother not only wasn't honest, but also punched him back. Sleeping trough. This younger brother should not stay for a long time. Qin Feng's anger level instantly filled up, directly activating the aura of Emperor's talent. Ding dong, the aura of Emperor's wealth begins, obtaining a 10-fold bonus effect on all attributes. Qin Feng can clearly feel the changes in his body, and all parts have become stronger. Bang! Qin Feng stepped forward with another kick, which cannot be compared to before. The second younger brother seemed to feel the power of this kick, knowing that Qin Feng on the other side was not easy to deal with. He immediately became honest and dared not absorb any more energy from his body. What kind of chosen child, someone who bullies the weak and fears the hard? Qin Feng felt extremely disgusted in his heart and couldn't help but kick his second brother. Ding dong, detected the host's foot kicking. Tianxuan's son, gained 10 villain points. 10 o'clock villain. Qin Feng, based on his years of experience reading novels, tried to call for the system mall in his heart. Next second, Qin Feng's mind conjured up a system mall, with its treasures shining with gold, which could almost dazzle a person's titanium alloy dog eyes. Wang Ba Qi. Divine level, with a crooked mouth and a fully open aura, can make men go through fire and water for it, and never hesitate to die, can make women wholeheartedly and polygamous, can make spiritual pets go insane and vow to accompany them to death. Even the spirit of the artifact would have no reason to believe that it is the main one, with a price of 99,999. A bit of a villain, heart of blackification. Divine level, can infinitely double its combat power based on its anger value, priced at 99999. Villain points, law of sacrifice to heaven. Divine level, passive divine skill. When a close relative is killed, the law of sacrifice to heaven can be ignited to obtain supreme divine power. God blocks killing gods, Buddha blocks killing Buddha, disregarding level, selling for 99999. Villain points, it seems like they are all very impressive, that's the price. Qin Feng's claim of not being tempted is false, but so many ellipses are also true. As a gentleman who is proficient in Confucianism, it is natural to learn to overcome difficulties. Confucius said. Reviewing the past and learning new things can make one a teacher. Ada. Qin Feng felt that his second brother seemed to be dishonest again, so he lifted his little foot and kicked him in the face. Ding dong, detected the host's kick on the chosen child, gained 10 villain points. Due to Qin Feng's current lewd development in her womb, she quickly became lethargic and could only call the system to prepare for the 33-day cultivation of the creation decision to return to blue. Ding dong, the 33 days of creation technique is starting to be infused. Boom boom. In an instant, a massive amount of information flowed into Qin Feng's mind like a tide, and the meridians in his body also appeared in his mind. The mystery of how the cultivation works seemed to be engraved in his mind, and he couldn't forget it even if he wanted to. Is this technique powerful? Qin Feng currently does not know the cultivation system of the ancient world, and naturally cannot distinguish between good and bad cultivation methods. He started practicing according to the cultivation method in his mind. Boom. Qin Feng fell into a trance in an instant, and his mind was in a state of emptiness. The energy around him was also sucked into his body like a strong wind, and the frightened second brother hid in the corner of his mother's womb trembling. The little one is finally quiet. The wife of the head of the Qin family, who was once one of the 3 holy sites, the holy maiden of Mount Taibai. Yun Xie's eyes were full of love and she gently caressed her bulging belly. Just now, the little one was mischievous inside, but it made her restless enough. Yun Xie suddenly felt something was wrong. The little one in her belly was actually absorbing spiritual energy, which was a very regular absorption, as if she was practicing some kind of martial arts. Accompanying cultivation method. For big characters appeared in Yun Xie's mind, and the joy on her face could not be concealed. In ancient times, martial arts are divided into 6 levels, from low to high. Huan, Xian, Di, Tian, Sheng, and Shen. The 4 levels of heaven, earth, Xian, and Huan were all created by martial arts masters. Practitioners can cultivate to the realm of great perfection. The holy and divine levels above require understanding the laws of heaven and earth in order to be created, but no one except the Creator can cultivate them to a state of great fulfillment. At most, it is infinitely close, which means it cannot deal 100% damage. Only by standing on the shoulders of giants can we see the world. To become stronger, we must create our own cultivation techniques in order to achieve a state of great fulfillment. And unborn babies are in a congenital state, reportedly able to feel the existence of laws between heaven and earth. At this time, the baby is still in an unconscious state and will not actively cultivate. It is rare to see someone who can possess companion cultivation techniques. But once the baby starts practicing, at the very least they start with holy level techniques and have a 100% compatibility. They are naturally at the starting line and are truly unparalleled. It is also the reason why the Qin family spared no expense in using secret methods to delay the birth of Qin Feng by 100 years. In addition to helping the baby win at the starting line, there is also an increase in success rate, which is rare to see in gambling for thousands of years. Baby, you really give your mother a boost. Yun Xie was overjoyed, knowing that no one could shake her position in the Qin family. Even if those ancestors saw her, they would politely shout for help. Her baby is creating a cultivation technique above the heavenly level, which is definitely a continuation of Qi luck and a treasure-like existence for a large family. Soon, several ancestors of the Qin family received news and stopped seclusion to send warmth. Xie, you are a great hero of our Qin family. Don't have any psychological burden. If you have any requirements, feel free to raise them. The world and the sea cannot defeat our Qin family. Are you used to living here? If you're not used to it, I'll immediately order someone to replicate Mount Taibai 1 by 1, making you feel like you're going home. How come we only have 1 bowl of immortal liquid every day? When the neighboring Wang family saw it, they thought our Qin family couldn't afford it anymore. Let's have another bowl, one at a time. Just as the ancestors were chattering incessantly, a cold snort suddenly exploded in their ears. Everyone go back to practice. If you scare the little ones, I'll hang you from the crooked neck tree at the entrance of the Qin family and beat you. Several ancestors immediately dispersed like birds and beasts, like a bare child encountering the homeroom teacher. Despite their age, the youngest is several thousand years old, but this person is the second ancestor of their Qin family, and in front of him, they are just a group of children. If he really hangs him from the crooked neck tree at the door and beats him, what kind of old face will there be when he goes out and sees people in the future? Farewell to our ancestors. Yun Xie hurriedly prepared to kneel down and bow, but unexpectedly, even the second ancestor was startled. But before she could kneel down, she was blocked by a gentle force. If you are pregnant, all these formalities will be avoided. Take good care of your child. The martial arts that this child has learned from the rules are extraordinary and full of infinite creativity. I believe he has the ability of a great emperor. The second ancestor did not appear, leaving only a majestic voice. At the same time, the entire Qin family also began to take action, with countless elite disciples and experts being called in. Yun Siye was protected by 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside. Even if a mosquito passed by, it was clear whether it was a male or a female. My son has the talent of a great emperor. The famous and robust man by the side of Yin Shimun kept giggling foolishly. He was the contemporary head of the Qin family and also the chief father of Qin Feng, Qin Tian. Deadly appearance. Yun Siye gave a charming white glance, which almost made Qin Tian lose his mind. He wanted his son to understand in advance what it means to have a filial son under a stick. But considering the importance of this little guy to the family, he could only put away his strict father's stick, hoping that the little guy could understand his father's difficulties and quickly come out of it. It's just that Qin Feng has no intention of coming out, living a life of 3 points and 1 line every day. Eating, sleeping, hitting my younger brother. Chapter 3. Insiders prohibited from trading. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Madam, exert yourself. 3 years passed hastily, and finally it was the day when Qin Feng was born. The entire Qin family is busy, and all the elite disciples are on high alert. It is a matter of adding another great pride to the Qin family, and anyone who discovers suspicious behavior will be executed first and reported later. Why isn't it good yet? Qin Tian anxiously walked back and forth outside the door, feeling heartbroken as he listened to his wife's heart-wrenching cries inside. Don't be nervous, it's okay. Several ancestors of the Qin family expressed that they were experienced veterans who sat calmly in the courtyard drinking tea, only occasionally glancing at the door, indicating that they were not so calm. Although companion martial arts are rare, the Qin family, as the first generation in ancient times, can still find a few books to come up with. What they truly care about is Qin Feng, who was able to comprehend the accompanying martial arts from birth and cultivated the divine arts to reach the state of great perfection. Growing up, he is an invincible being of the same level. Equivalent to nuclear deterrence, no family would find such a master too numerous. Moreover, in the world of ancient times where the strong are respected, if one wants their family to remain strong and prosperous, the more they want, the better. They give great hope to this unborn little one. At this point, Qin Feng discovered that his second younger brother wanted to seize the throne and become his elder brother, so he angrily kicked him aside. Since he opened up the halo of emperor's wealth and practiced the 33 days of creation technique, he has been hitting his younger brother every day, rain or shine, successfully establishing his own elder brother's authority. Now as soon as the little one senses his movement, he immediately curls up in the corner trembling. Every day, he also absorbs the immortal liquid first, waiting for him to eat and drink enough before daring to absorb some leftover food. There is also his villainous point. After 3 years of non-stop fighting against his younger brother, he has accumulated over 33,200 points and is only waiting to go out and spend some money. The 3-year period has arrived, it's time for me to be born. Qin Feng seemed to see the light ahead and couldn't wait to get out quickly. Yun Siye lay struggling on the bed, her little hands tightly gripping the sheets, almost tormenting her crazy. Accompanied by a scream, Yun Siye finally reached the critical point, and Qin Feng also emerged, loudly announcing his birth to this ancient world. However, he is currently unable to make a sound, and when it falls into the ears of others, it is a loud cry. Wow, wow. Born, my son Qin Feng is born. Qin Tian outside was excited and incoherent, and the big stone in his heart was also lowered. I don't know if there is a fixed number in the dark, or for some other reason, after discussing with the Qin family, I named Qin Feng. Ding dong, the system has detected the birth of the heavenly destiny villain, with exclusive heaven and earth supernatural arrangements. Boom boom. Suddenly, lightning flashed and thunder roared in the sky. The originally clear sky turned into a dense cloud, and the sky suddenly dimmed. A strange blood-colored moon appeared in the sky. There is a strange phenomenon in the sky, and demons are rampant. Heavenly and earthly phenomena, my son Qin Feng indeed possesses the talent of the great emperor. Qin Tian laughed excitedly, as if to announce the good news to the world. The disciples of the Qin family around also stepped forward to congratulate the head of the family on giving birth to a good son. The Qin family's ancestors, who were supposed to be happy, stared solemnly at the blood moon in the sky. Blood moon rises, demons appear. The blood moon appears, the country will decline, the energy will be exhausted, like falling into prison. If the moon changes color, there will be disasters. The green will worry about hunger, the red will compete with the army, the yellow will be happy for gain, the white will be drought and mourning, the black will be water, and people will fall ill and die. It foreshadows the weak positive energy in the world, the strong evil energy, the strong resentment, the violent energy, the drastic changes in the wind and clouds, the sorrowful cries of mountains and rivers, the turmoil in the world, and the rising flames. I'm afraid this child will bring a disaster to the ancient world. The ancestors of the Qin family exchanged solemn glances, making it impossible for them to abandon their younger generation's arrogance. Since a major disaster cannot be avoided, the Qin family will choose to fight well. Other forces in the wilderness also looked solemnly at the blood moon in the air, and quickly dispatched them to inquire about whose family's demon it was. At the same time, they had to plan for the upcoming catastrophe, causing the seemingly calm wilderness to start a dark tide. At this point, Qin Feng has been cleaned up and held in front of Qin Tian. This is my cheap dad, how ugly. After Qin Feng saw his cheap father, the beautiful man's dream shattered instantly. This rough man really doubted whether his mother had given birth to a son for revenge on him. However, when I saw the pale face of the old lady on the bed, my lost mood finally gave me some comfort. His eyebrows are like emerald feathers, his muscles are like white snow, his waist is like a bundle of vegetables, and his teeth are like a shell. He is definitely the most beautiful ancient beauty he has ever seen. I believe his future appearance will not be too bad, and relying on his face for a living should not be a big problem. Okay, my son Qin Feng indeed has the talent of a great emperor. After Qin Tian checked his son's bones, he couldn't even close his mouth with a smile. There's no way. His son's bones are really terrifying, more than 10 times stronger than other newborn children. In addition, he began to cultivate unconsciously from birth and possessed the 6 levels of qi and blood cultivation. Even a genius child of the same clan aged 8 or 9 cannot be compared to his son. At this moment, the midwife suddenly exclaimed, "Oh my, madam has another one in her belly. These are twins." Twins. The Qin family immediately became calm. They always thought that Yun Xie was pregnant with one, but they didn't expect it to be twins. On the other hand, they thought that the first one was so terrifying, not only because they understood the martial arts above the heavenly level, but also because they triggered celestial phenomena and possessed the power of the great emperor. As a brother who was born with him, I guess his qualifications are also very terrifying. Just as everyone was eagerly anticipating this, the midwife shook her head after the examination, indicating that her second child was temporarily unwilling to come out. He doesn't want to prove his personality, he wants to tell others that he must take back the nutrients he has lost with his own hands. He has taken control of these 2 bedrooms. What do you mean by not wanting to come out? Qin Tian didn't calm down on the spot. He extended his thick right hand and grabbed the midwife's collar, asking her to deliver her second child no matter what. This. The midwife felt very embarrassed, she had already checked just now. The second child is still too young and obviously malnourished. If they were to be forcibly delivered now, it would definitely be a premature baby with congenital deficiencies, and they would have to be raised for at least 3 more years. 3 years. 3 years later, 3 more years. Upon hearing this, Qin Tian collapsed on the spot and didn't expect to wait for another 3 years. Even if he had 100 unwillingness in his heart, he had to consider the overall situation and could only use his secret technique again to delay the birth of his second son by 3 years. This fantasy is a bit unorthodox. Can you still give birth to half and keep half? Qin Feng looked dumbfounded from the side, and his heart began to scream wildly. There's an insider. Hurry up and stuff me back in, I can still continue to beat my second brother. Chapter 4. Inspiration to become the fastest man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Good son, call him Daddy, Daddy. Qin Tian played with Qin Feng in his swaddling clothes, experiencing the joy of being a new father. However, Qin Feng did not give this cheap old man face at all. Whenever he asked himself to call him father, he would give a harmless response, causing the old man's face to turn black and the mother to smile brightly. But Dad still enjoys it tirelessly, calling out dozens of times every day. Naive ghost. Qin Feng was too lazy to bother with this teasing father and called the system to open the system all. Since he was born, he found that his cultivation speed has slowed down. According to the system, the reason why his cultivation speed is fast in his mother's womb is not only due to the blessing of immortal liquid, but also the assistance of the skilled mother. Now that he is born, everything can only rely on himself. But he only has over 30,000 villain points, so he really can't buy any quick ways to improve his cultivation. The system suddenly spoke up and said, I suggest the host purchase a comprehension aura, which can increase their own comprehension. As long as they understand the profound meaning of the first level of the 33-day creation technique, they will achieve twice the result with half the effort when practicing. Intelligence aura. Can increase the host's intelligence by 100 times, exchange price. 30,000 villain points, and maintain the effect for 1 month. 100 times more understanding. Even a pig with 100-fold increase in intelligence has become a genius, let alone a super genius who has been marinated with immortal liquid for 100 years. After thinking for a while, Qin Feng nodded and agreed to exchange. Compared to rapidly improving his cultivation, he prefers to quickly comprehend the 33 days of creation technique. According to the record in his mind, if he could comprehend the complete set of 33 days of creation technique, he would be an immortal existence. Even if killed by someone, one can still be reborn with a drop of blood. It is a necessary skill for villains to kill and steal goods, and to care about other people's wives. I pooh. He is a serious Confucian gentleman who reads the Analects of Confucius. How could he willingly fall and become a villain? Ding dong, congratulations to the host for spending 30,000 villain points to successfully exchange for a month's enlightenment aura. Boom boom. Qin Feng felt a sudden explosion in his mind, his soul feeling like a trance out of his body. There were many things he didn't understand about cultivation before, but now he can easily figure them out. Spring has gone and autumn has come again. Another 3 years passed by in a hurry. Qin Feng is already 3 years old and has grown into a cute little creature carved in powder and jade. With his harmless image as a human and animal, as well as his worldly wisdom learned in his past life, he smiles and greets everyone he meets. He is known as a rising star in the Qin family. Whether it's a single sister or a married daughter. In law, they always take the initiative to pick him up and kiss him. As a Confucian gentleman who reads the Analects, he naturally understands the concept of reciprocity. Therefore, every time a young lady kisses him, he will kiss her and return her. The system just wrongly accuses him every time, saying that he is taking advantage of the girl by LSP, and even insists on giving him a bit of a villain. Is he this kind of person? Even if he has the heart, he doesn't have the tool to commit the crime. Besides, he also has a second younger brother who was chosen by heaven. How could he have thought about these messy things? Since my second younger brother monopolized the double room alone, it's like a little cow riding on a plane, it's so amazing. Not only did he successfully comprehend the laws of heaven and earth, but he was also deducing his own techniques above the heavenly level. Occasionally, there were virtual shadows of dragons and phoenixes surrounding the sky, emitting waves of dragon and phoenix singing. It's much more dynamic than when he was born. It also made the entire Qin family extremely happy, but they didn't expect to have two Tianxiao in one child. It also alarmed the founder, who had been in seclusion for many years, personally naming his second brother Qin Hao, a man who dared to harm the heavens before he was born. Faced with such an unreasonable second brother, Qin Feng dared not slack off for 3 years and used every minute and second to improve his cultivation. Perhaps in the eyes of others, he and his second brother are demons of the same level, but our own family understands their own affairs. He never comprehended the companion cultivation technique in his mother's womb, only comprehended the path of cheating. That is to say, he has not reached the state of great fulfillment with the 33 heavenly creation technique, and cannot achieve any level of invincibility. At the starting point, he has already lost to his second brother by a large margin. He doesn't want to be worshipped or killed in the future, so he must seize the time to improve his cultivation. Now he has comprehended the first level of the 33 days of creation technique, and his cultivation has also broken through to the 9th level of qi and blood. He only needs one step to break through to the Xuanhuan realm, opening up an elixir field to store his spiritual power. At the age of 3, Xuanhuan realm will break the record of ancient times. Breakthrough Xuanhuan is right here, break it for me. Qin Feng, sitting cross-legged on the bed, suddenly opened his eyes and let out a loud shout, unleashing all his spiritual energy to bombard his dantian. Boom! A terrifying collision echoed inside Qin Feng's body, and a dim starry sky appeared in the dantian. The spiritual energy around also rushed into the dantian like a tide, transforming into spiritual power to light up this dim starry sky, containing a never-ending force of creation. Hoo, we have broken through the Xuanhuan realm. Qin Feng exhaled a deep breath of turbid air, which was more than 10 times stronger than before. Since the first day of comprehending the 33 days of creation decision, his recovery ability has been much stronger than that of people of the same level. He has taken another step forward from thinking about other people's wives. He is immortal. Calculate the time, my second younger brother should be born soon. Qin Feng looked up at the moon and murmured to himself, missing his second brother even more after 3 years of absence. Since his younger brother dominated the double room 3 years ago, his antagonistic point has lost its source. Although according to the antagonistic law of the system, bullying others can also gain antagonistic points, but it is really pitiful and cannot be compared to the second brother, this chosen son. For example, he was taken advantage of by the younger sister and daughter. In law of the Qin family for 3 years, but only managed to earn over 1,000 points of hard-earned money, far less than what he earned by beating his younger brother. My foolish Ududu, do you know how my brother has been living these 3 years? Qin Feng looked at the 4,300 villain points displayed in the system, which he had worked hard to save. He didn't dare to use them at all for 3 years, just afraid that his second brother's anti-kinship aura would suddenly open up and lead to the destruction of the clan. Fortunately, the second younger brother is about to be born, and it's time for him to strengthen himself. Qin Feng eagerly opened the system mall and had long been interested in a divine-level body technique called Phantom Xiaoyao. However, his current points are limited and he can only purchase the first volume. As for why not choose the family's cultivation methods, which have already activated the system, and waste time learning, is it foolish? Direct exchange, isn't it fragrant? Phantom Wanderer. Volume 1, after completing it, one can be as light as a swallow's step on the snow without a trace. Exchange price. 4,000 villain points, be a wolf to train your teeth, be a sheep to train your legs. Faced with the unreasonable selection of his second younger brother, he can only aspire to be the fastest man in ancient times. As long as something goes wrong, he can immediately run away. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for spending 4,000 villain points to successfully exchange for the first volume of Phantom Wanderer. A figure immediately appeared in front of Qin Feng's eyes, moving rapidly with exquisite footwork and dazzling changes in body shape, one step closer to becoming the fastest man in ancient times. Chapter 5. What Bad Thoughts Children Can Have. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day. The news of Qin Feng breaking through the Kaiyuan realm came as if a thunderbolt had blown through the entire Qin family. The 3-year-old Kaiyuan realm is definitely unprecedented. Okay, my son Qin Feng indeed has the talent of a great emperor. Qin Tian's excited laughter echoed through the Qin family, wishing he could just say to someone that my son Qin Feng has the talent of a great emperor. When Qin Feng saw this scene, he felt extremely panicked and anxious. In my memory, there was a villainous father who was also like this. He talked about his son having the power of a great emperor every day, and in the end, he successfully caught the attention of the protagonist. Fenger, it's amazing. Yunxia walked over with a big belly, doting on Qin Feng's head. She loved this sensible and hard-working eldest son so much. Since Qin Feng was born, she has never been bothered. When their children were young, they could cry and make their parents collapse, but their son insisted on not crying or making a fuss. When he was hungry or urinated, he would actively remind you, and as he grew up, he would practice hard to ensure the safety of other children. Qin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes and his heart began to scream wildly. Is it a dream for a 3-year-old cute child to work hard day and night for 3 years, break through the Kaiyuan realm and break an unprecedented record in ancient times? Or responsibility? None of them. He has an unreasonable second brother who doesn't want to be implicated and die young. When a family of 3 is happy and harmonious, and the father is kind and the son is filial. Yunxia suddenly put on a pain mask, feeling a wave of tumultuous pain in her stomach. At the same time, outside, there was also a strong wind, lightning, thunder, and dark clouds. The sound of dragons and phoenixes echoed through the void, and the virtual shadows that were originally surrounded by dragons and phoenixes became solidified. Madam is going to give birth. The people of the Qin family immediately realized what was going on after gaining the experience from last time. One by one, well-trained maids began to get busy, and the elite disciples of the Qin family became highly vigilant to prevent anyone from threatening their future hope for the Qin family. My foolish Ududu, you are finally about to be born. Qin Feng was so excited that his breathing became rapid, and he couldn't wait to meet his second brother. Dad Qin Tian was also extremely excited, and he was both angry and happy about this second son. He was angry that he didn't understand his father's hardships and insisted on delaying his birth for 3 years. I am naturally happy that I have another great eldest son, and I don't know if I have the wealth of an emperor. Boom boom. The sky was filled with lightning and thunder, and the room was filled with the screams of Yunxia. The second person had no intention of coming out, and the phantom of Dragon Phoenix was hovering rapidly in the air, as if something bad was about to happen. It's already a second child, why is it so difficult to have a baby? Qin Feng quickly realized the seriousness of the problem and suspected that his younger brother's aura of restraining his parents had opened up. When the halo opens, family and friends return to heaven. Boom boom. Another sound of lightning and thunder sounded, accompanied by a terrifying pressure that fell, making everyone feel like a big mountain was pressing on them and making production more difficult. What kind of person? Qin Tian was furious on the spot, and violent energy gushed out of his body. The disciples of the Qin family also instantly filled their anger levels, gathering everyone's energy to resist this pressure. However, this kind of pressure is really terrifying. Even with the joint efforts of the Qin family, they are not their opponents. As they were about to lose support, the Qin family erupted with 7 or 8 terrifying pressures. The cold voice of the second ancestor followed, "Old Loach, do you want to go to war with me?" Haha. I'm just trying out the cultivation of all the wise nephews. A white-haired old man wearing a dragon robe appeared in the air. If it weren't for witnessing his methods just now, it would be difficult to connect him with ulterior motives based on his kind appearance. Dragon robe. Emperor of the Great Xia. Qin Feng is no longer a novice. Over the past 3 years, besides practicing, he has also gained some understanding of the ancient world. In ancient times, various forces were mixed with fish and eyes, and there were countless aristocratic families, sects, tribes, gangs, and various schools of thought. In order to strengthen their own strength and compete for more cultivation resources, various forces would also combine to form a country. For example, the Great Xia dynasty, the largest ancient kingdom, was composed of countless aristocratic families, and the Qin family was also the most powerful among these aristocratic families, so it was called the first ancient aristocratic family. It's a bit like during the Sui and Tang dynasties, it meant being a thorn in the eyes of the rulers and a thorn in the flesh. After knowing who the other party is, it is not difficult to understand why they did that just now. The Qin family gave birth to 2 Tianxiao in succession, and the Xia royal family could not feel the threat. This is the eldest son of the Qin family, right? Emperor Daxia seemed to have nothing to do, smiling as he fell from the sky. Seeing Qin Feng, he couldn't help but reach out to touch him. With a whoosh, Qin Feng immediately unleashed his phantom and quickly retreated to maintain a safe distance. Just because he had the idea of killing his second brother just now, I dare not come into contact with him. In case he is influenced by his second brother's aura of restraining his family, wouldn't I have to go and get a boxed meal? This is body method. The great Xia emperor's face suddenly changed, and his heart couldn't calm down for a long time. For a master of his level, Qin Feng's body technique is nothing, no matter how he dodges, he can slap him to death. But the problem is he's only 3 years old. Breaking through to the Kaiyuan realm at the age of 3 is unprecedented, and one can still master a body technique so smoothly. This son has the wealth of a great emperor. At the same time, he also thought of the blood moon 3 years ago, representing the birth of a demon. It is said that the appearance of this demon foreshadows the decline of the country, and its energy is exhausted, like falling into prison, which is a potential threat to their Xia dynasty. Is that demon the eldest son of the Qin family? When will he? Qin Tian was taken aback for a moment before feeling extremely surprised. Unexpectedly, his precious son learned his body techniques. Although this body technique does not come from their Qin family, he can still see its mystery at a glance, and it is definitely the upper body technique of the heavenly rank that he comprehends from the laws of heaven and earth. Sorry, children are afraid of strangers. Several ancestors of the Qin family also appeared and perfunctorily said, protecting Qin Feng tightly behind them like a calf. No problem, no problem. The Emperor of Great Xia took a deep glance at Qin Feng and didn't know what he was thinking. At this point, Qin Feng immediately revealed his true form when he saw someone supporting him. Your Majesty. I have long heard people say that your Majesty is wise and powerful, noble and upright, willing to sacrifice oneself for others, persevering, hard-working, unyielding, accommodating all rivers, upright, fearless in the face of danger, unparalleled in the world. Today, upon seeing him, he truly lives up to his reputation. Qin Feng's exaggerated expression, like that of an idol, followed by a series of rainbow farts. Then the conversation changed and he said, Your Majesty, as a wise and powerful person, you wouldn't come empty-handed as a guest, would you? Say it. Qin Feng blinked his innocent big eyes, looking like I was just a child. What kind of bad intentions could I have? Chapter 6. Selection of great talents, all children should choose. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Emperor of Great Xia unconsciously twitched at the corner of his eye, realizing that this little guy was really bad. Saying you're not a guest at the Qin family. Then admit that you came to the Qin family to cause trouble. What's the difference between having so many ancestors of the Qin family present and seeking death? But if you say you're here as a guest. He didn't prepare any gifts, so he shouldn't have taken out his divine attire and given it to someone, right? Qin Feng saw no response from the other party and immediately exclaimed in exaggerated amazement, No, the Grand Emperor of Xia really came empty-handed as a guest. The ancestors of the Qin family felt relieved and had no intention of coming out to relieve the siege. From the fact that the other party used pressure recklessly just now, almost causing Yun Xia to have difficulty giving birth, it can be seen that the Xia royal family has already started targeting their Qin family. If it weren't for the consequences of starting the war rashly, they would have rushed to fight just now, but they didn't even know him. At the same time, this incident also reminded them that some things must be planned as soon as possible, otherwise when the royal family truly raises the butcher's knife, their Qin family will be in danger. How could that be? Of course you bring gifts when you're a guest. The Emperor of Daxia was embarrassed by Qin Feng's words, and when he saw that there was no one in the Qin family to help him out, he could only show a smile that was even worse than crying. He painfully took out a small wooden box. After opening, there are 9 delicate small swords that look like fingers, each sword containing a strong sword energy. Long Sky 9 swords. The ancestors of the Qin family were somewhat moved and blurted out the origin of the 9 swords. This sword is the sword of the heavenly pride, the god of the sky sword, from 10,000 years ago. It consists of 9 swords, including the immortal slaying, the god slaying, the Buddha slaying, the demon subduing, the holy slaying, the soul chasing, the soul striving, and the army breaking. Each sword is a rare divine weapon in the world, and the 9 swords combined can rank among the top 10 ancient divine weapons. They can also be separated to form a sword formation, and their power can rival thousands of soldiers and horses. But with the fall of the Chongkong sword god thousands of years ago, 9 swords also scattered throughout the wilderness. Unexpectedly, this old loach had collected them all. The Emperor of Great Xia's face was conflicted, and he couldn't bear to give any hand. These 9 swords were collected by him with a lot of manpower, material resources, financial resources, and time. Before he could fully appreciate them, he had to give them away. However, if he didn't give one, he would have to give away his divine armor. Take the lighter of 2 conflicting powers. Forget it, just close your eyes and give it a hand. The Emperor of Daxia, as if accepting his fate, prepared to let Qin Feng choose one from them. And he believed that in no time, this sword would return to his side again, because the Qin family had produced 2 consecutive Tianjiao, which not only threatened imperial power but also disrupted the balance between aristocratic families. The world is bustling, all come for profit, and the world is bustling, all go for profit. Now the cake is so big, once these 2 arrogant individuals grow up, the resources obtained by other aristocratic families will inevitably be squeezed. How can other aristocratic families be willing? Just before the great Xia emperor could speak up and let Qin Feng choose for himself, Qin Feng, with a harmless smile on his face, snatched the small wooden box containing the 9 swords and didn't forget to say, "Thank you very much, Your Majesty, for bestowing the 9 swords." Although Qin Feng still doesn't know the origin of these 9 swords, it's not difficult to tell from the expressions of several ancestors of the Qin family. Good thing. Adults only choose, of course children will take it all. The Emperor of Great Xia quickly spoke up, wanting to explain the reward. But it seems that the ancestors of the Qin family also lack moral integrity, and immediately all kinds of rainbow farts hit their faces. Your Majesty is so generous. With just one move, it's the 9 swords of the long sky. Your Majesty's high regard for our Qin family has truly moved me to tears. I wish I could transform into a daughter and make a commitment. I'm afraid the Qin family can't afford such a valuable gift. Your Majesty is the true Dragon Emperor, wealthy all over the world. How could he care about these external things? No, talking to Your Majesty about money is an insult to Your Majesty. As the saying goes, sending goose feathers from 1,000 miles is light in etiquette and heavy in affection. When we reach our point, Your Majesty understands. In the future, our Qin family will follow Your Majesty's lead. Who dares to speak ill of Your Majesty? The Qin family will be the first to refuse. Do you have any rules, stinky boy? Hurry up and kowtow to your majesty. Thank you. Qin Feng also kowtowed 3 times, just like going to the grave during festivals. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for promoting the spirit of villains, not giving Qian Ming the rare divine weapon to steal from others. With the 9 swords of the long sky, you have gained 1,000 villain points. Open robbery. Whoever snatched it, don't falsely accuse a good person. It was clearly given to him by someone else. Qin Feng strongly condemned the system, and if you can't speak, don't say anything. This family. The great Xia emperor was so angry that he almost came to his aunt and found that the Qin family didn't want any face at all. I don't know if it was to prove his conjecture, or if Qin Feng tasted the sweetness and looked at him innocently. Your Majesty, have you ever heard a rule in the martial arts world that elders will give a gift when they first meet younger generations? Puff. The great Xia emperor almost spat out a mouthful of 82-year-old blood, indicating that he had never seen such a shameless person before. It seems like there's a rule here. The ancestors of the Qin family were afraid that the world would not be chaotic, so they made it clear that they would fight against the wealthy together today. This face. The disciples of the Qin family around felt ashamed. Having lived in the Qin family for so many years, I have yet to comprehend the ultimate meaning of the Qin family. Qin Feng began to exclaim in exaggerated amazement again, "You're young, you're young. You're the strongest country in ancient times, the leader of the great Xia dynasty. I can't bear to give you a meeting gift when I see a younger generation. Sleeping slot. Can this little bastard have a face?" If it weren't for the presence of several ancestors of the Qin family, he promised not to kill this shameless little one. The emperor of Great Xia felt a bit regretful in his heart. He didn't go out today and didn't look at the almanac, but unexpectedly encountered such an shameless little thing. He was not satisfied with blackmailing him with the 9 swords of the long sky, and even wanted to blackmail another one. However, in order to save the face of his own emperor, he painfully took a small jade gourd from his waist, with some auspicious cloud-shaped runes engraved on it with gold wire, making it look tall and imposing. Tianbao gourd. The ancestors of the Qin family were impressed and exclaimed in their hearts that the imperial family really had money. This Tianbao gourd is not an attacking or defensive treasure. Wearing it on the body can have the effect of concentrating and calming the mind. During cultivation, it can avoid getting demonic and accelerate the speed of cultivation, quickly consolidate cultivation, especially during battles where it can quickly regain mana. It can be said that it is a treasure that cultivators dream of. However, the refining cost is too high and the success rate is too low, even the Qin family dare not easily try refining. The only 5 remaining Tianbao gourds in the family are also finished products obtained from other channels. Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Qin Feng approached gracefully and shamelessly accepted the gourd. Ding dong, detected that the host is willing to help others, free storage of Tianbao gourd for others, obtained 1,000 villain points. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction and asked the system to speak more. Chapter 7. Find a reason to beat my brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You're welcome, you're welcome. The emperor of Great Xia laughed more unsightly than he cried, and in his heart, he really couldn't bear to part with the Tianbao gourd. But unfortunately, this is already the least valuable treasure on his body, and he shouldn't give this kid the god costume he has worked hard to create for many years, right? Wait a minute. Why is this kid's gaze so familiar? The emperor of Great Xia's heart trembled suddenly, realizing that Qin Feng looked at him with an innocent expression, as if he had asked him for a greeting before. Sleeping slot. How can a person not have face to this extent? They have already given him 2 treasures, but they still cannot satisfy this kid's appetite. Ah! The faces of several ancestors of the Qin family were also a bit uneasy, and they exclaimed in their hearts that they were bereaved, sick, and crazy. Even though they have 2 treasures, their appetite is still so good. They had to think about when to form a group to take Qin Feng to the imperial city of Daxia and visit door. The disciples of the Qin family around looked envious, as if they also understood a truth. A person's face is an external object when wandering in the martial arts world. Ding Dong, detected that the host is leading a bad Qin family disciple, obtained 200 villain points. This TM is also okay. Qin Feng's eyes suddenly lit up, as if LSP had unlocked a new pose. At this point, Emperor Daxia was really afraid of Qin Feng, and while he was stunned, he turned into a golden light and rushed towards the sky. I suddenly remembered, there's something else. Your Majesty, I'll take my second brother to see you when I have time. You don't need to be too polite. Don't prepare any valuable treasures. Just give a few holy or divine level martial arts books, and just pack a dozen heavenly treasure gourd. I'll tell you, I don't want any more. It's useless for a child to have so many good treasures. Qin Feng regained his senses and shouted in the direction of the other person's departure, as if everyone vaguely saw Jin Guang lose balance and almost lose control and fall from the air. This face. Everyone in the room was sweating profusely, indicating that I couldn't wait. What are you all looking at me for? Haven't you seen the first handsome person in the wilderness? Qin Feng was very proud and shook his head, his idle temperament was tightly controlled. Fenger, you're still young. Father Jian has taken good care of this sword for you. Qin Tian approached with a malicious smile and snatched the small wooden box from Qin Feng's hand. As a divine weapon that can rank in the top 10 in ancient times, no one can remain indifferent to the 9 swords of the long sky, even the head of the first family in ancient times cannot. Ah, this. The disciples of the Qin family around felt embarrassed, not expecting Qin Tian to be such a family leader. Is that for safekeeping? He's just craving his son's big treasure. You keep saying you love me, but you grab my big treasure. The Qin wind was like a theatrical spirit possessed by the body, shedding tears and rushing into the arms of an old ancestor seeking comfort. Nothing of great value, even the treasure of my own son. The old ancestor held Qin Feng up with heartache to comfort him, and didn't forget to kick Qin Tian to help Qin Feng retrieve the 9 swords of the long sky. It is equivalent to solemnly announcing to everyone that the long sky 9 swords belong to Qin Feng. No matter how aggrieved Qin Tian, this cheap old man, is, the disciples of the Qin family around him look envious. A 3-year-old doll actually holds the top 10 divine weapons in the ancient world, and even wears top-notch auxiliary treasures such as the Tianbao gourd. If it were to be spread, I wonder how many cultivators would die of envy. Boom boom. Thunder and lightning flashed again in the sky, and the phantom of Dragon Phoenix rushed down into the room where Yun Xie was giving birth. I didn't hear the crying of the baby, only a little maid ran out to bring good news. Born, a young master, mother and son are safe. Qin Feng's heart also relaxed as he raised his throat. The sudden pressure just now almost scared him to death, fearing that his younger brother's aura of restraint would suddenly open. Soon, the second one was washed clean and brought out. Qin Feng comes up and compares with Cheap Dad. He looks exactly like Cheap Dad, not like he inherited his mother's appearance in the Golden Age. But these are not important anymore. What's important is that his second younger brother fell into his hands, unlike in his mother's womb, he can play all day now. Woo-woo. The second person seemed to feel the breath of Qin Feng and instinctively became a little restless. If he can speak now, it's not that he can't see me, I just shouted not to come over. This little guy. Several ancestors of the Qin family couldn't help but furrow their brows, feeling an unusual and mysterious aura from their second son. Even if they have lived for thousands of years, they can't say why for a moment. They need to go back and look through ancient books. As everyone gathered around the second brother to study, Qin Feng finally found a reason to hit his younger brother. Second brother, why don't you cry? There shouldn't be anything wrong with it, right? Everyone also reacted and did not hear the child cry, which was completely different from the birth of other children. Just as everyone was preparing to inspect, a small hand reached out. With a loud bang, a crisp slap rang out in the room. I saw Qin Feng lift his little hand and slap his second brother's buttocks hard. From the bright red slap mark, it can be seen that it was definitely from his own brother, and the strike was not ordinary heavy. Wow! The second younger brother felt his butt being beaten and cried loudly. How could you hit your younger brother? Qin Tian sternly criticized Qin Feng and quickly picked up his second son to coax him. I'm afraid he might have an accident. Qin Feng's face was filled with grievances, but his heart had already bloomed with joy. Ding Dong detected the host hitting the chosen child's buttocks, earning 100 points. Ding Dong, it was detected that the host was crying for the chosen child, causing him to speak up and dissipate a mouthful of innate ancestral energy, which is equivalent to 3 years of hard work and earning 30,000 points. Ding Dong detected a chance for the host to destroy the selected child, and won a lottery opportunity. Qin Feng was stunned on the spot, not understanding what innate ancestral qi means. The system explained, only by receiving the qi of heaven and earth can one be born, and there must be a period of primordial energy that is nurtured before conception. This is called innate ancestral qi, and refining it can be equivalent to 3 years of hard work. After Qin Feng learned about it, a big sleeping groove popped up in his heart. If I had known this innate ancestral aura was so awesome, he wouldn't have pretended to be forced to shout when he was born. Perhaps this is the difference between the protagonist and the villain. Just how did second brother know? Qin Feng looked curiously at his crying younger brother, suspecting that he might be a great reincarnation. But after observing for several days, I didn't find any wisdom in my second brother. Like other babies, he ate and slept and ate, or cried non-stop. Tormenting his cheap father crazy, he immediately gave up the idea of having a third child. Not all babies are called Qin Feng. It's just that his mother's gaze at her father was clearly not right. There's a hint that the reason I married you is to have more sons for you to retaliate against. That night, the candlelight occasionally made a crackling sound. The great Qin Feng, who lives in the neighboring courtyard, seems to hear someone singing poetry and geese. Chapter 8. Not listening to the old man and being happy for years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Today, Qin Feng is sitting and practicing in his small courtyard. Since he broke through to the first level of the Kaiyuan realm, his cultivation speed has slowed down again, because the 33-day creation technique cannot keep up. It's like that he changed a new car, which is stronger than the previous one, but the engine is not awesome. It needs to understand the second talent as soon as possible. Fortunately, my foolish Ududu has been born, so I can let go and do it now. Qin Feng opened the system and displayed 32,400 villain points, with another chance for a lottery. According to the system, only by disrupting the chance of the chosen child will they have the chance to win a lottery. The prizes inside are also very impressive, all of which are divine-level constitutions, special powers, and divine skills. What can be extracted? Qin Feng was full of anticipation as the call system began. With a loud bang, Qin Feng saw a rotating lottery wheel in front of him, densely packed with prizes, including the Taisheng body, the heavenly dominant body, the fighting holy body, the chaos holy body, the double eyes, the supreme bone, the true dragon treasure technique, and the transforming self in heaven. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for winning the Zhan Tianba swordsmanship. Boom. A thunderbolt echoed in Qin Feng's mind, as if his soul had come out of his body to another world. A man in black appeared without any unnecessary nonsense. Nod your head, draw your sword. A crisp and resounding sound of drawing a sword echoed through the heavens and earth, and a stunning sword light that had been left standing in the world suddenly appeared. The cold chill swept across the entire heaven and earth, graceful as a startled swan, as if the sword light was about to cut the sky into two pieces. The terrifying sword was like a mark, deeply engraved in Qin Feng's mind. Let people be intoxicated and unable to extricate themselves for a long time. How terrifying. After Qin Feng's consciousness returned, his whole body was covered in cold sweat. True swordsmanship does not require flashy tricks. The sword can cut through the sky and destroy the earth when unsheathed, and also determine the winner. Although the heaven-slaying sword technique is powerful, with Qin Feng's current cultivation and age, even if he knows how to use it, he cannot slay it. He still needs to strengthen his cultivation and improve his physical fitness. We still need to hurry up and practice. Qin Feng called the system in his heart to exchange for a month's enlightenment aura. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for spending 30,000 villain points to successfully exchange for a month's enlightenment aura. After 3 years, Qin Feng once again felt the trance of his soul leaving his body. There were many things he didn't understand about cultivation before, but now he can easily figure it out. At this moment, an old man appeared in the courtyard of Qin Feng. Upon closer inspection, he was the 10th ancestor of the Qin family, who was Qin Feng's great-grandfather and his father's biological grandfather in terms of seniority. As for his own grandfather, it is said that he is going out for training. For hundreds of years, there hasn't been any news coming back, and it's unclear whether it's life or death. The whole family has been debating whether to eat or not. Good grandson, the master has come to see you. The 10th ancestor lifted Qin Feng with a loving expression on his face, and he fell in love with this obedient, sensible, and hardworking great-grandson. Since Qin Feng broke through the Kaiyuan realm, several ancestors of the Qin family have been both surprised and delighted. It is natural to be delighted that their Qin family has gained an extraordinary Tianjiao. Surprisingly, Qin Feng broke through without anyone's guidance, which is an extremely dangerous behavior. If not handled properly, it could lead to destruction and death. So several ancestors of the Qin family discussed and decided to send the 10th ancestor to guide Qin Feng's cultivation. Guidance. Qin Feng felt that it was unnecessary. He has the complete version of the 33 days of creation technique, and the precautions are clearly marked on it. As long as he practices according to it, nothing unexpected will happen. As for guiding him in martial arts and body techniques, it's better to lend his second brothers but to him for 2 days. No matter how difficult it is to practice the martial arts and body techniques taught, he can guarantee to learn them within 2 days. Practitioners must remember that a proud heart cannot exist. The 10th ancestor felt that Qin Feng had risen with pride and was ready to strike him well, making him understand that there are green mountains outside the mountains and green buildings outside the buildings. If one does not advance in the path of cultivation, they will retreat. I saw the 10th ancestor's energy sinking into the dantian, and he stomped hard under his feet. Several leaves on the ground bounced and danced, and then his fingers closed and he forcefully pointed towards the 10-meter-high rockery not far away. Shoo! 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 Fallen leaves transformed into terrifying weapons on the spot, directly cutting the 10-meter rockery into rubble. Shi Zuyu, with a long focus on education, said, "Do you see? This is the first heavenly-level martial arts skill that the prince has learned." Leaves fall profusely, and he relied on not being arrogant or impatient to practice at home for more than 10 years before finally achieving great success. As soon as he left the martial arts world, he became famous all over the world. Before the glorious deeds could be showcased, I saw Qin Feng learning from others. First, come to the Qi Chendan Tian, stomp hard under your feet, and a few leaves on the ground bounce up and dance. Then, with your fingers together, point hard at the nearby stone table. Shoo! 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 Fallen leaves flew out like steel sheets, all tied to the stone table. If it weren't for the cultivation that opened up the Yuan realm, one could definitely transform into a cutting machine like the 10 ancestors. This thing requires more than 10 years of hard practice. Qin Feng didn't feel any difficulty at all, thinking that he could reach a perfect life in at most a month. I don't know if it's because he's currently in a 100-fold enlightenment aura, or if the falling leaves have a bit of martial arts flavor and he can't sit in the fantasy world. Anyway, regardless of the reason, Tianxuan really looks down on him, or is it attractive to exchange his second brother's but for divine-level martial arts skills? At this point, Shizu stood beside him in silence, indicating that he had been hurt. Especially as Qin Feng muttered, "This thing requires decades of hard practice and has brought him unprecedented critical damage. I need to be quiet." The 10th ancestor constantly comforted himself in his heart, not angry, his own child, his own child. Ding dong, detected that the host is disrespectful, obtained 100 villain points. I'm so disrespectful. Qin Feng was immediately confused, suspecting that the system might have gone wrong. Quickly, the system gave the answer. Ignoring the old man's words is disrespectful. Qin Feng was speechless last time, still last time. In what era do we still regard the words of the elderly as imperial edicts? Is it true that the words of the elderly are all correct? Forget it. It's a system, it's all right. If you look disrespectful, then look disrespectful. Remember not to listen to the elderly and be happy for several years. At this moment, the other ancestors of the Qin family walked past Qin Feng with a serious expression, without looking back, and headed to the small courtyard where his parents lived next door. What's going on? Qin Feng followed curiously. As soon as I entered the door, I saw several ancestors surrounding my second brother and even took out several ancient books to compare with him. In a few minutes, the ancestors could no longer conceal their excitement and burst into laughter. The Supreme Bone, that's right. That mysterious aura is the legendary Supreme Bone, which is unparalleled among all beings. This child is a born supreme, truly blessed by heaven for our Qin family. This halo is open. Qin Feng's whole body suddenly became bad, and the selected son of heaven really had no reason to say. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for triggering the epic mission of the heavenly destiny villain. Dig out your brother's supreme bone and reward him with invincible double pupils. Chapter 9. Extremely panic and anxious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Puff. Qin Feng almost spat out a mouthful of 82-year-old blood, feeling even more that it was not a proper system. These are his close friends, relatives, and brothers. The system spoke seductively and said, the supreme bone can be broken and then stand, and grow again. Breaking and then standing. Grow again. At this moment, Qin Feng's statement that he was not tempted was false, but he quickly shook his head and rejected it. If we really dig up the supreme bone of our second younger brother, our parents will have to scrape off his skin, and the image that has been established for many years will also be destroyed. Hurt 1,000 enemies and self-harm 800. No, I need to be quiet. Qin Feng shook his head and didn't think about the matter of the supreme bone. He returned to his own courtyard to start practicing. I thought I could relax for a while after knocking out my second brother's innate ancestral energy, but who knew he had gained an extra supreme bone without reason. We must practice without relaxation for a moment, so as not to be implicated and end up dying. In the small courtyard, Qin Feng meditates and cultivates, and people instantly become calm. Unlike the first level of understanding, the second level of understanding is significantly more complex, but the effect is also very obvious. In addition to accelerating cultivation speed, the recovery power will also be stronger than before. At the same time, the Tianbao gourd hanging around Qin Feng's neck also flickered with a soft light. Not only can it help him concentrate and calm his mind to prevent being possessed by demons, but it can also consolidate his cultivation in the first level of the Kaiyuan realm and accelerate the speed of breaking through the second level of the Kaiyuan realm. It can be said that with this Tianbao gourd, the cultivation speed has at least doubled. What a fast entry speed! The 10th ancestor stood beside with a surprised expression on his face, becoming increasingly optimistic about Qin Feng. I am not proud of the potential for improvement in a 100-year pregnancy, nor am I complacent when I realize that my innate skills have won at the starting line. I still work so hard and diligently in my cultivation. This child has a promising future. Spring has passed and autumn has returned, 5 years have passed. At the age of 8, Qin Feng, after comprehending the second level of heaven, made rapid progress in his cultivation. In just 5 years, he broke through to the 9th level of the Kaiyuan realm, only one step away from the extraordinary realm. Unlike in the Kaiyuan realm where one opens up an elixir field and is as light as a swallow, in the extraordinary realm, one can release spiritual energy and kill people thousands of kilometers away. At this point, Qin Feng was sitting in a bathtub. Inside is a medicinal bath specially prepared by the Qin family for him, which can help him better refine his body and consolidate his foundation. It can be considered as a welfare brought by his family background. Qin Feng frowned unconsciously in pain and was trying to unleash his spiritual power. Bang! A muffled sound came from within, and as the body trembled, a terrifying airflow gushed out of the body, shaking everything in the room. Surprisingly broke through. 10 ancestors looked at Qin Feng in the bathtub with a stunned expression on their faces. 8-year-old extraordinary realm, once again breaking the ancient record. However, the 10th ancestor was only stunned for a while before returning to normal. It was not because he had a heart that had been practicing for thousands of years, but because Qin Hao, Qin Feng's younger brother, was even more abnormal. Qin Feng set the record for the fastest breakthrough in the Kaiyuan realm at the age of 3, and successfully broke it again at the age of 2. Although I am only 5 years old now, my cultivation has reached the 5th level of the Kaiyuan realm. Before the age of 8, I broke the record of Qin Feng breaking through the extraordinary realm the fastest. It's not easy. Neither of these brothers is normal. The self-confidence of the 10th ancestor was severely damaged. I feel like I'm living like a dog compared to these two brothers. Roar. Qin Feng stood up and let out a loud roar, releasing his spiritual power to shatter the bathtub. Although he was only 8 years old at the time, his height was similar to that of a 12.13-year-old child. At a young age, he had 8 perfect abdominal muscles, and his whole body was filled with a wild explosive power. The first thing after the breakthrough was to beat up his second brother. Although his father is my father, his mother is my mother, and his ancestors are my ancestors, it does not affect me to hit him in the slightest. In the past 5 years, he often used sparring as a pretext to repeatedly rub his second brother down on the ground. The money earned by the villains is like a bowl full, and now he has more than 240,000 villain points. However, this product is really unreasonable. It's becoming increasingly difficult to fight now. Although it was only the 5th level cultivation of the Kaiyuan realm, it made him feel exhausted in the 9th level and made him understand the terror of the great perfection. It is indeed an invincible existence at the same level. He also asked the system about how to achieve the state of great fulfillment. The system's answer is also very simple. Just purchase a card from the Great Perfection realm and use it. The price is not expensive, only 1 million villain points. In order to complete it as soon as possible, hit your younger brother as soon as possible. This child. The 10th ancestor rubbed his forehead with a headache, knowing that there was another wave of chicken flying and dog jumping next. However, he didn't mean to stop him either. His younger brother didn't lose confidence in failure, but instead worked even harder to cultivate. Even if he won, his brother would constantly push himself to work hard. They are delighted to see such a virtuous cycle. Young master. The disciples of the Qin family greeted Qin Feng with smiles. But when they felt the unstable aura of Qin Feng's body fluctuating, their hearts immediately turned into turbulent waves. You're joking. You really broke through the extraordinary realm. In their understanding, even geniuses who break through extraordinary realms are at least 15 or 16 years old. In ancient times, they can already be inexperienced, and those who are powerful can be considered somewhat famous. But now Qin Feng has reached the age of 8. If it weren't for witnessing it with his own eyes, who would have believed it to be true? What a demon! The Qin family disciple swallowed his saliva and was frightened by Qin Feng's talent. Qin Feng ignored the shock of everyone, and now he just wants to quickly find his second brother to beat him up. In the end, with 5 years of experience, Qin Feng successfully found his second brother at the entrance of the Qin family. He saw a little doubting sleeping on the crooked neck tree at the entrance of the Qin family. Sure enough, it's here. Qin Feng wandered around the crooked neck tree in confusion, and in his memory, his younger brother often slept on this tree. If it were other children, he would think it was playful, but when faced with an unreasonable second brother, he always felt that there was some incredible opportunity in this. The more inconspicuous things others may feel, the more crucial it is for the protagonist to turn the tide. Am I overthinking it? Qin Feng looked at it for a while but couldn't see any mystery. His gaze unconsciously shifted to his sleeping younger brother. In the eyes of others, it may seem like a peaceful time, but in his eyes, he always feels that his second brother is seducing him to dig up the supreme bone. My original dream was to become a playboy and live a luxurious and indulgent life, but it was because of this little thing that I had to work hard to cultivate self-protection. Qin Feng became more and more angry as he thought, and his hands were raised high. With a loud bang, Qin Feng's hand hit Qin Hao's little buttocks heavily, causing the little one to wake up immediately. Seeing Qin Feng not only not angry, but also happily calling out to his brother. Even though his brother spanked him 1,000 times, he still likes to play with him. Regarding this, Qin Feng felt extremely panicked and anxious. As is well known, the warmer the childhood scenes, the more tragic the death scene becomes as one grows up. Apart from the female protagonist, whoever interacts with the protagonist will walk faster. As soon as the time ring opens, the King of Hell smiles and arrives, my brother. Chapter 10. The Proud Generation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother, let's go out. Qin Hao looked at Qin Feng eagerly, hoping that Qin Feng could take him out to play. Go out and play. Qin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes, indicating that he looked up to himself. As the hope for the future of the Qin family, they provide all-round protection for their brothers, and at the age of 8, he has never left the Qin family. Of course, he doesn't need to go out either. It's not that the ancestors of the Qin family don't allow him to go out, but rather that the Qin family is really too big. The reason why the Qin family became the first family in ancient times is not only due to the protection of their ancestors, but also because the Qin family has a bloodline population of millions, all of whom live in a city. In addition, the family philosophy of inheriting martial arts enabled everyone in the Qin family to have cultivation, which led to the creation of the title of the first generation of the ancient family. If there are no special circumstances, there is no need to leave the Qin family. It is precisely because the Qin family's military strength was too high that the true ruler of the eastern part of the great Xia dynasty was the Qin family. People who make a living here may not know about the Xia royal family, but they must definitely not know about the Qin family, which is the disadvantage of the imperial family sharing the world with the aristocratic family. Brother. Qin Hao pitifully shook Qin Feng's arm, trying to achieve his goal by pretending to be pitiful. Unfortunately, Qin Feng didn't take his move at all. If it were for a younger sister, she would be shaken. However, in order for his second younger brother to have a complete childhood, he nodded and agreed to his request, asking him to wait for him outside the city first, while he went to tell his mother. Great. Qin Hao didn't understand the danger in people's hearts yet, so he happily ran and jumped away. Mother, my second younger brother ran away from home. Qin Feng quickly transformed from a gentle older brother to a scheming boy and rushed into the house to give a little report to Yunxia. Ding dong, we have detected that the host has falsely accused Tianxuan's son and obtained 200 villain points. The guards around were expressionless and had long been accustomed to it. During the 5 years of Qin Feng's reign, his younger brothers came one after another. If they had guessed correctly, the young master would have handed his wife a feather duster later. Not for a while, Yun Xie, as if carrying a chick, angrily brought Qin Hao back. Qin Feng turned into a gentle older brother again and approached with heartache, explaining, "Mother, don't be angry. I promised to take my second brother out to play, not that he wants to run away from home." Qin Hao nodded his head repeatedly, his eyes full of gratitude as he looked at his elder brother. The more Qin Feng said this, the more his mother didn't believe it. "I feel that the boss feels sorry for his younger brother and doesn't want him to be beaten later, so I take the initiative to take responsibility for myself." She really can't understand why the difference is so big, even though they are twins born to their parents. The eldest is sensible and obedient from a young age, while the second is mischievous and mischievous all day, belonging to the kind of bear child who doesn't touch the house and expose the tiles for 3 days. You can't learn from your brother, you always know how to be mischievous. Yun Xie activated the strict mother mode and gave a sermon to Qin Hao. But she didn't notice that Qin Feng behind her made a face at his second brother, making a 5-year-old child bear the laughter he couldn't bear at his age. Haha, finally, he couldn't help but laugh and let Yun Xie, who was already about to lose her anger, scratch her anger and start constantly brainwashing herself. "This is my son, I am his mother. I can't get angry with him, let alone beat him. I have to coax him when crying, and I have to treat his injuries. It's not easy for me to raise him so much, but it's almost a result of my difficult childbirth. He must have made a mistake because of me. I didn't put in enough effort to educate him. It was because of my poor abilities and lack of methods." Filial piety emerged from under the stick, and rebellion emerged from the chopstick. Enduring the vastness of the sea and sky for a moment, taking a step back makes me increasingly angry. I can't bear it anymore, there's no need to endure it anymore. If I don't burst out in silence, I'll die in silence. I can't control the power of the wilderness in my body anymore. Watching Qin Hao still giggling foolishly, Yun Xie announced that brainwashing had failed. Mother, my second brother is just a child." Qin Feng quickly pretended to be a good person and stepped forward to stop him, but he happened to be holding a willow stick in his hand. "Get away, Wei Nyang must teach him a good lesson today." Yun Xie took the willow twig with ease, and it was difficult to calm her anger without taking a few puffs at the bear child. Willow twigs. There was a slight change in the faces of the guards around, which was different from the feather duster they had guessed. Just as Qin Feng was waiting for the villain to come to his account, bursts of music suddenly came from the sky. From a distance, one can see a team of Wu Hao approaching in a majestic manner, with 9 mountain-shaped exotic beasts pulling a luxurious chariot, and the teams behind them all riding exotic beasts soaring in the air. If strengthening +10 will emit light, then this team will at least strengthen +20. The Lin family of Tianxuan City. Qin Feng could tell the origin of the other party at a glance, and could be considered the absolute controller of the western region of Great Xia. Unlike the family-style rule of the Qin family, the Lin family in the city of Tianxuan is considered a local vassal, recruiting many talented individuals for their own use, as well as 1 million armored troops to serve them, firmly controlling the western part of the Great Xia. "I'll deal with you later." Yun Xie glared at Qin Hao and pulled the 2 brothers home. At the same time, the bells and drums representing welcome echoed in the Qin family city. Hundreds of thousands of highly skilled Qin family disciples came out of the city to welcome the distinguished guests of the Heavenly Heart City, showcasing the powerful heritage of the Qin family. The Qin Feng brothers were also dressed in formal attire by Yun Xie and accompanied their chief father Qin Tian to personally go out of the city to welcome them. Unlike their usual playful father, Qin Tian today can be said to be domineering. "Just stand there, like an invincible god of war. Qin Tian, haven't seen you for many years, I want to die as my brother." A middle-aged man dressed in fancy clothes got off the car and warmly hugged Qin Tian when he saw him. He looked like a cunning old fox. "Brother Lin Hao, I miss you so much too. Qin Tian burst out laughing heartily, with a hint of sincerity. These two are twins from Qin Tian's family, 3 years apart. After chatting for a while, Lin Hao looked at the brothers Qin Feng and Qin Hao. The reason why he came all the way to the Qin family this time is for these two brothers. More precisely, it is because the Qin family wants to form an alliance with the Heavenly Heart City and choose one of these brothers to marry his precious daughter. Since the Qin family produced 2 arrogant figures in a row and the 2 brothers broke records in ancient times, the Xia royal family has been completely anxious. In order to ensure the stability of imperial power, they have started to contact major aristocratic families to prepare to take action against the Qin family. The Qin family had to start searching for allies for their own interests. Not bad, this is the eldest Qin Feng, with the assets of the great emperor, and the second Qin Hao, with an unparalleled supreme bone. Qin Tian is very proud to introduce 2 great elders. Someone else's family has already produced 1 Tianjiao, but their ancestral tomb is smoking. However, their family has produced 2 peerless Tianjiao in succession. The supreme bone has been recorded in ancient times, and it is unknown whether the emperor's wealth is true or false. A proud little loli walked out from behind Lin Hao. She was the little princess of Tianxuan city, Lin Shiner. Although she was only a little loli of 6 or 7 years old at this time, her eyebrows were like emerald feathers, her muscles were like white snow, her waist was like a bundle of vegetables, and her teeth were like a clam. It was clear at first glance that she had grown up to be a beautiful embryo. Exainer, don't be impolite. Lin Hao spoke up and scolded, asking him to pay attention to the situation. However, the proud little loli never cared about the occasion. Her gaze towards Qin Feng was full of provocation and targeting, and she even raised her hand and snapped her fingers, calling for a handsome young man of 14 or 15 years old. He is my new servant, Lin San. Do you dare to fight him to prove yourself? Lin Shiner gave Qin Feng a provocative look. Lin San. Qin Feng curiously looked at the other person and found that this person had a towering head and was not an ordinary small character.